Hello everyone, how are we all doing today?
Good
Good
afternoon.
evening.
Are you well?
Not too bad, not too bad. We are back at it again with Water 7 now from One Piece, which is going to be a nice, fun one because compared to last week, this is why we can't have...
It was fun.
Alright,
Oh yeah.
it was indeed fun. I tell you what was more fun as well. Found out that there's a worse character than Waffle. So, yeah, we got nice, lovely. This is why we can't have nice things. This is why Wapple takes over countries. Then we have this is why we have nice things. This is why Foxy takes over your crew. Right then. So,
I'm still annoyed about him.
I mean, at least you don't have him right here. That's the thing. At least you don't have him looking at you right here. I mean, he's literally over there on the floor, but still.
Wouldn't we even fucking dare?
I mean, I wasn't going to, but now you've just kind of like convinced us.
Yeah, don't entice him.
Yeah,
You know he will.
you know I will. So yeah, we're good weekend this has been anyway. Generally, I know Tass hasn't read 1005, which he's probably going to do straight after this because me and Anis have read it in the chapters of One Piece. But going back onto the subject, Water 7, like compared to last week, it's just a godsend, absolute godsend, and is required.
It was in last week. That's good.
Yeah, G8 was in last week, but you're looking at Frank, you're looking at Foxy. You know what I mean? You got Foxy or Water 7. I mean, there's a reason why he's in civilian. I mean, he should be less than civilian, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking frump. I told you.
So, aye. So just opening this arc, it's straight away find out there's continuous damage to Merry straight off the bat, and I see the pirate crew looking for a new ship, or looking for a repair of the ship, the keel. You remember what it was? So where do we want to start with this chapter then?
Well, you've got to start with before I even get there, and the introduction of the sea train.
Mm-hmm. So you got the sea train
Yeah.
straight off the bat.
Yeah, because
It's something that you just
afternoon
don't
silver. Yes. So you got the sea train straight off the bat. A mention of Frankie's mentor, Tom, the one who actually made Goldie Roger's ship. Now that, like I said, I think it's a little bit of foreshadowing. Yeah. So that's the Yora Jackson. That's the one. That is, like I said, the introduction of Tom. That's like kind of a bit of foreshadowing for the crew. I think like you're saying that, you know, mentor passed down.
It is 100% it's foreshadowing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've got mentor passed down from Goldie Roger to Luffy, and then Jackson. So the Yora Jackson to Sunny, or Tom to Frankie. I think
You got your scoreboard there, Sam.
I do indeed. We have it over here.
No, not this again.
We have it ready for us. But yeah.
Yeah, so Kokoro is the old lady, I'm going to say for now.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
runs the steam train.
Mm-hmm.
1 point each if you can name me her granddaughter and her pet.
No, I don't know the pet, but the granddaughter I do know. That was Chimney.
Yep, 1 point to Anna. Sam, mark that down.
I'm not going to guess the other one because I
What we need to do for the end of it when we finish, like we'll set like a limit, and like every 10 points you get to do the other person a forfeit for every 10 points you get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Yeah. Now, my main question on this is where are we going to end Water 7, because to us, Water 7...
End it just before they get onto the sea train.
So before they get...
To end his lobby.
Right,
Yeah.
because I was going to say there is one point in the Sanji's part when he gets on the ship that I want to mention, but we'll say that for the following week. But yeah, Jimmy, like I said, really, really straightforward. Like, this arc's just like
Gombe
they come
was
in.
the rabbit, by the way.
Yeah, what's the rabbit was?
Gombe.
Gombe. I
Yeah.
honestly gotta say I don't remember that. But I think, like I said, the main thing about this is if you look at the crew from this point on, there's always one change at the crew at this point. The rich. They are actually rich from coming straight off of Skypiea.
First time we've actually had money.
Exactly. And Nami's buzzing, and then they realise, oh, we now need to get someone to repair the ship. So leave. I think they just leave Usopp alone with the ship, don't they? He was already injured.
No. The leaves are all with the ship.
Zoro with the ship.
Usopp goes with them.
Mm-hmm. And they go to get like someone to inspect it, and the funds and the money all get stolen, from what I remember, by Frankie's house. Frankie's fun house.
Frankie family.
Yeah. So from the Frankie family stealing it, start this like kind of basic awesome trait where they already enemies straight off the bat, you know. But it's pirates. You're supposed to steal from pirates, and pirates are supposed to steal from anyone. So it started this unofficial war going on between the Frankie pirates and the Straw Hats, which results in what we know of Usopp taking so much damage, like taking a beating beyond his life.
Whooped.
Yeah.
And his pride, I think, gets really shattered at this point because he just feels like he's completely incompetent and can't do anything to help the crew compared to.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the big three. Like I said, how much they've been fighting, how much you see everyone fighting. Usopp's only had like maybe 2 moments, what we've talked about in the fight so far.
Yeah, well, he had 2
Arabasta.
from Arlong's crew,
Mm-hmm.
and he had Mr. Four and Miss Merry Christmas with Lasso the dog on Arabasta.
And even that was a 2v2 with Chopper. And let's be honest, Chopper does have the brains and the brawn.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have that. I don't think Chopper has that kind of the fighting sense that everyone else has. But yeah, like I said,
He's the baby, isn't he?
He is. He has his own power, and I think this is like quite a good growth arc for him, especially in the next chapter, like in the next part as well. It just shows how much he's grown as a character and how much he is. And then you see him grow again. It's brilliant. But
I think this is kind of the first time you see, like, I think normally when you see him fight, it's sort of like he's fighting to protect himself, sort of thing.
Yeah, or comically.
Whereas I think this time, like, I think this is more sort of like I am fighting for
someone else.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, even Arabasta, he did show his pride there, and you know he showed his pride towards his captain because there was a brilliant line where he says that you can make a piss out of me all the time, but don't ever take the piss out of Luffy. In essence, and that was like, you know, when he's bleeding, he's had his skull crushed and everything like that, and he still gets up and fights. But going back to Frankie's house, though, I absolutely love Frankie's house when, you know, Usopp gets beaten down, beaten to basically nothingness, and then they go in, just literally the big three go in, and just show him who's boss. Exactly, and just show him who's boss. Basically, just go in, kick everyone's ass, not even care about anyone's opinion, not care about anyone's at all. Just dominate and destroy his house.
Yep. But unfortunately, he's ran off. Ran off with the money.
Oh, here's another 1 point question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What did Luffy want to buy with the gold that they got?
I'm going to go with meat. Because I generally think...
Yeah... I can't think of anything different. I think I'd have to go for something like meat.
No, he wanted to buy a bronze statue.
I actually don't remember the bronze statue, to be honest with you.
No, I don't. And now I'm wondering, what did he want to buy it of?
He said a bronze statue. I'm assuming of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably. Wouldn't put it past him. Yeah. But yeah.
I have the money. Let's just buy a statue of me.
Yeah, it's just that we've got gold. What should we buy with it? Bronze.
Yes.
Make a gold one.
Yeah.
That would require a logic test. We know although that doesn't happen. I mean, there's a brilliant quote in the anime, in the English dub, is just explaining how Luffy sees alliances. Yet you're my friend now. I'm going to make the plan and do what I want, and you guys are going to follow me. Even if you could coordinate a plan, come up with the best strategy ever, Luffy gets his say, and that's it. And the crew's all accepted that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say and what you do. He's going to do what he wants when he wants anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's there's no strategy you can tell him. Like, you can't say, "Oh, let's do this strategy," because he'll go, "Yeah, okay." What was the strategy?
Like, I punch things, right? Yeah, that's it. I punch things. That was the plan. I punch him. That's good. Yeah. But to be honest with you, like, this is the thing. I think Luffy's a lot smarter than he lets on to be. Because going a bit into the next section, when he goes, "I know what that flag means and I know everything going on," he does mention about, like, he says he knows all about it, and that's probably from his grandpa Grab. I think he just doesn't care.
He is as daft as he is, but he knows what he needs to know.
Yeah, and I think he just doesn't care. Like, he knows all this knowledge, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't care about it. It's not important to him. What's important to him?
It's kind of like he knows what to do to get what he wants. And,
yes.
But we'll touch on that more when we get to that part of it. But he knew, like, that was the only way he could. Well, it was the most effective way to get his point across. He knew exactly what he was doing, exactly what it meant, and was like, "Yes, so far, do it anyway." Like,
absolutely. Yeah, like I said, this part of this arc is like, obviously, we've met Frankie recently, but we don't know much about him. He's basically naffed off with his 2 assistants to go and buy something out of the country on the train, and he's left his family there, and his family's just come back to being destroyed.
Kiwi and Mozu, those 2 are called.
Exactly. And I think at this point as well, the bounties for Luffy and Zoro also jump up, don't they?
Yes, and they're recognised for the bounty.
I think they hadn't had any bounty increase.
Like, how's it going?
Because they haven't really had a noticeable fight since Arabasta. Skypiea was obviously not
recorded,
recognised by the world government. Like, everything they've done there, the Marines and the government don't know about it.
Exactly.
Foxy,
exactly.
Again, redundant, didn't affect his bounty. So I think at the minute it's Luffy's got his bounty of I think it's 100 million at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's getting recognised for it because
Robin's got 79 and what Zoro got 70 or something like that at this point.
Yeah, something like that.
Not for now. Hi, Swagpens, how are you doing there, buddy? But yeah, generally, like I said, and then there's so much secrecy around Robin not knowing a bit about Robin. I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing, by the way? Like Prince is asking.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Not too bad. A little bit tired, but we're getting there.
I mean, Goldie Rogers falling asleep on you right now.
Oh yeah, he's just He's chilling. Don't worry, that won't last long.
But yeah, I think, like I said, when we get to Robin, just walking past someone saying CP9, and then just instantly fear happen on her face, and she disappears.
Yeah, that was emphatic, that scene as well.
Exactly.
Because you've never seen anything from Robin like that. Like, she was always calm and collected, no matter what people said. She was no problem. Yeah, whatever. I know better. And then he said CP9, and she kind of just was like,
freak out.
Shit. Yeah. Fuck this shit. I'm out straight away. Quite literally. But yeah. So good to hear you're doing good, Bal. Obviously, we meet Iceberg as well, which I find.
And find out that he's actually the mayor of Water 7.
This one good.
And he's a little thing I want to touch on as well, which made me chuckle.
Thank you.
When they send somebody to check the Merry Dawn.
I know who checks it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And Zoro's asleep on the ship, obviously, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just sees the nose and just like,
he thinks it's too soft.
Oh, it's too soft.
Yeah.
Alright. No, but I do remember in this episode, I'm sure Zoro gets lost for ages in this city as well. And I remember.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. For don't worry about it.
He gets stuck in the chimney as well, doesn't he?
Yes. That's what I was going to mention later on. That's what we're going to mention. I remember you sending us the Christmas card of that. If you don't know, there's a picture of like a Christmas, it's all Christmassy done. It just says Merry Christmas. It's just Zoro and his 3 swords sticking out of the chimney. But yeah.
Instead of Leo Santa getting stuck up the chimney, it was Zorro.
They are reading it, Swag, because Arnis did mention it, but just for Tass's sake as well. Why did everyone notice Bill Gates farted in the Apple Store? Because he didn't have any windows. But yes.
Oh,
We're going to be going on the dad jokes later on. Again, I remember as well.
That again.
We're not doing the dad jokes, we
I'm
will.
not doing that again.
We do.
I was on somebody's the other day, and I told like 50, and then they asked me to stop.
please stop, please.
I was going to say, this as well, I remember, more than anything else, is the mention of the ancient weapon again. That we had from Arabasta ages ago. Nothing's been said. And we know, obviously, that this is a different ancient weapon than the one that was written in Arabasta. And that's a good real kick there. It's like kind of like we're getting this back in.
It was Pluton, was it?
Pluton,
Yeah.
it was indeed. Point for Tass. But yes.
I'm not even on the scoreboard.
I've just read the. But yes, when he goes and checks the ship, we find out the ship's completely knackered, and we know the ship's completely and utterly knackered. And like I said, it's one of the things the crews all went, well, there's nothing to be done. The ship's going to fall apart, and it's last them.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's dropped from space, basically. Let's be honest. It's dropped from the sky. Dropped from the sky. I'm pretty sure if any normal ship did that, it wouldn't be in one piece. Bullshit. And you know, everyone's kind of completely went on and said it's absolutely fine. I'm trying to remember the name of the woods that he's went out and bought. Adam Wood. Adam Wood, yes. But yes. I mean, ancient weapon goes, like I said. Doggo.
Sorry, I just saw that with Swag's comment there. Yeah, this is Goldie Roger. He's just chilling. For now, I guarantee you, he will make himself known at some point.
Just to point out for you as well, Swag.
Via fart.
Via fart, yeah. And then coming up into my face.
Yes.
To let me know.
Don't worry, if you don't know as well, his name is Roger. He's gold. He's called Goldie Roger. For anyone in the chat, he is pretty much the mascot of this this actual One Piece podcast.
Podcast.
Yes, and
that's a good name, that, you know.
Podcast piece. Thank you.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you. But obviously, we know we need to get the ship. Let's go back to it. We need to get this ship. We need to get a new ship. Everyone in the crew's pretty much accepted it because, well, let's be honest, it's a ship to everyone. They've had the memories. They know it's good. It's not that they don't care about the ship.
Any further in this ship, we need to get a new one.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know what? Usopp has more of an emotional connection to that ship because it's something that he believes has a soul.
Yeah. Plus he's worked on keeping it going.
He got it from Kaya as well, didn't he? So
yeah,
that was that emotional connection.
Exactly, and
the sentimental value.
Exactly, and the fact that the whole crew knows they're going to do it. They've got the money for it. They thought, you know what, we might as well do it. I remember, I think it was Luffy and Nami that went to the bank, wasn't it? And took all the gold with them.
Luffy, Nami, and Usopp.
Usopp as well, yes. And that's why Usopp got beaten up because he had the 2 briefcases full of the money, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then this sparks a fight for Usopp to say that no, he doesn't agree with getting a new ship. And obviously, it's not just the ship that's the reason. It's his self-doubt. It's his pride that's just been absolutely crushed. And what's he do? He challenges Luffy to a fight. And we laugh about it, but you know what? We laugh about when we think about in principle. Oh, Luffy's going to fight. Yeah, Luffy's going to fight him. This is a one-shot kill, done and dusted. Boom, gone. But it does turn out to be more of a battle.
Good fight, yeah.
Epic fight.
And by far, it's probably one of my favourite fights to watch back. Purely for the fact that
watching it, yeah.
Just because it just shows that Usopp might not be the strongest. Usopp might not be the strongest or the smartest in the crew. But if you give him time, he will tactically know how to beat people.
Yeah.
And to be honest, he was quite close to beating Luffy.
One Piece, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. And it does bring up the thing I think we touched up before, which is Luffy isn't great against brains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If he's against the powerhouse, no problem.
Yeah.
But if he's against somebody with a bit of brains and has a bit of knowledge, then
he's too naive, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think
he'll fall for the simplest of traps.
I think there's two things to take away from this fight, other than one, that Usopp knowing that he needs to put his life on the line basically and do it is really great, and he's really powerful. But secondly, it just shows Luffy is falling behind and he needs to upgrade. Because, like I said, not saying that Usopp's in a weak position.
I think it's not so much that. I think it's he didn't really want to fight Usopp properly.
But
more than anything.
I agree with you. I agree with you to a sense, but at the same time, I think you can't really.
It seemed that when he got to a certain point, when he was like, "Right, you're starting to piss me off now," he hit him, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. I think, like I said, the Dal's made a big man.
Usopp's best shots, every single one of them, and then was like, "Do you know what? I've had enough now. Fuck you."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have that.
And then hit him, and that was good night, Vienna.
Yeah.
And then then he was just like.
Granted, Usopp, we know the amount of an ass kicking he can take because we've seen it in all of his fights.
Mm-hmm.
He gets whooped and keeps getting back up.
Mm-hmm.
But this time, obviously, he'd already had a beat down from the Frankie family, so he was already well beat up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to be honest, he's a lot stronger than you expect because he even took out one of those impact dials, reverb damage, while he was already in a weakened state.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, one of the biggest moments is when Luffy had to walk away from that fight and said it was hard for him to walk away.
Yeah.
And then
it hurt.
Zoro.
And then Zoro said, "That's why it's."
That's why you're
the captain. Yeah.
If you don't, like you said, if you can't take this, you lose respect from everyone in your crew. And I think that's the big thing there, going, "Oh God, I've got to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Get this kind of sorted from here and out."
But then obviously, and then he just goes, right, it's all done. Usopp's, go on, keep your ship.
Yeah,
but you're out.
Even though, like you said, the prize was to keep the Merry for winning. Luffy's like, well, I don't need the Merry. It's yours. Do what you want with it. And even Chopper was like, yeah, I really want to heal him. And then Sanji had to, I think it was Sanji, wasn't it, that pulled him back and said, well, if you heal him, it's going to make it worse. Said,
yeah, you're gonna hurt his pride more than it already is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's just lost a 1v1 duel. What he asked for. How is he going to feel if you then go and help him?
Yeah.
It's not but pity.
Exactly. You know,
right.
It is one of those things that it just shoots you down. Obviously, we then find out, Iceberg's fighting. Iceberg's fight's going on. Everything's going on there. And internal fighting in this crew, and they've been undercover for how many years have they been undercover? Good 5 or 10 years, wasn't it, that they were undercover looking for?
Yeah.
Because
they were a wiki job, honestly, I can't remember that one.
Because they were looking for the actual weapon. They were looking for the actual Pluto plans.
Yeah, they believed that Iceberg had it.
Mm-hmm. Which technically he did.
Yeah. Can you remember what Frankie's original name was?
Ooh.
His alias, if you will.
Reason I want to say
1
John.
point question.
Ooh.
Oh, he's done them.
His actual general Frankie's name, his original name.
Yeah, what he was called on their documents in Tom's Workers.
God, I actually
Rob
don't.
Lucy mentions it to Iceberg when he's doing that to check if he's reaction.
No, you've lost me on that one.
Cutty Flam.
Cutty Flam.
Cutty Flam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't remember it for the life of me. Silver Nose.
Ah, Silver should have quickly jumped in there. You could have had a point for chat.
I could have had chats a point.
Great chat.
Hmm.
Did he get it right?
He hasn't put it in chat yet.
Said I know.
You got to remember he's on like a minute, like about 20-second delay than us. So
Oh, that's what we should do. Pause we'll pause these questions to the chat as well.
yeah, we'll make a chat box next for it. It's you guys that wanting points. Yeah, but you can, if we can easily like rub this out and add chat in here.
Yeah.
Then
add chat to it, and then
Yeah.
if chat gets to 10 points, they can issue a forfeit to
anyone,
somebody.
to anyone.
Yeah, I'll go for that. Because let's be fair, as I say, we get
Mhm.
because we do this over Discord, which actually obviously goes to Twitch, which has a delay.
Hmm.
So we have time to think before you guys actually give your answer.
I'm just gonna rub this out then. Just add a sec.
Art and crafts.
No, you get a point system. So whoever gets the point. So if you're in chat and you get the point, whoever gets a 10th point in chat, say like I said, you and a few others like Swag is in the chat, and you get it right, then you can then issue a challenge to any of us in this chat, like a forfeit challenge, basically.
To think up of some forfeits, but we're still plenty of questions away.
Oh yeah, plenty of questions. I'll start thinking of some more questions as well. Well, any of us can think of questions to pose.
True. And then we've got, like I said, we also have Twitter as well. So plug the Twitter. There we go. Now we have a chat box. So we can actually start scoring the chat as well for it. You'll need rules on what those could be, though. Yes, so it's got to be something we can physically do, or something we can prepare and do, which is
We can discuss this when we're not on stream.
true.
And
Yeah.
we'll post a
Post it out on our Twitter.
10 points to the end. It might be worthwhile going 5 for chat,
Yeah, true.
I like
Thank
that,
you.
Ray.
I appreciate you think my scoreboard looks professional. You can have another look at it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Ta-da! Don't know if you can read it properly.
It's
Jazzy.
Thank you.
ah,
I mean, I'm not a professional writer here.
Yeah, I can tell. My surname's US's.
I don't know what you're talking about. That had 2 S's on it. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. That has 2 S's. Do you want to see? Look, it has a small one. You missed out.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, serious. But yeah, going back to, I see this. We've Cutty Flam.
What people want to talk about.
Yes. Cutty Flam. We were talking about Cutty Flam just popping in, and then they mentioned that name was only ever once. Rob Lucci mentioned it, the Iceberg, and then they've always known that Frankie was Cutty Flam, but they had no evidence, so that's why they were so undercover for so long, and which is really scary to think that these people are quite adaptive in power.
Yeah.
Because they're not just only powerful, they're not CP9 in general, they're also like has trained basically shipwriters basically, and whatever other undercover skills they've got, which just proves the fact that they are quite a deadly cause to deal with. Iceberg originally did have the plans for Pluton, but he gave them away straight away to Frankie, and Frankie's had hold of it, which we'll come back
that was
to.
a good decision.
Mm-hmm. It was indeed. And obviously then there's the point where, like I said, the crew's fighting CP9 and just completely get outmatched, let's be honest. Completely.
Yeah.
In Iceberg Mansion.
Yes. And we figure out, like I said, they're going to be, like I said, powerful fighters. Ryotsu, is it? What's it called? Where they use Ryoshiki, is it? Ryoshiki?
Oh, the
Technique where they use... Yeah, it's like similar to like... Yeah, they start using Ryoshiki and then their own techniques, which is like pretty much, at this point, a version of Armament Haki, would you say? Like to make them a bit more solid?
Genpo.
Genpo, yeah.
Gekko's the one where they
Mhm.
run in the air and jump. Soru is the movement speed.
Mhm.
They've got Shigan, which is the finger gun.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the defense?
Rankyaku, Tekai.
Mm-hmm.
Takai.
Tekai.
Remember, I've got Rankyaku, which is the blades.
Yeah. And the Rankaku is the one that obviously you see that happens in Zoro's fighting. And you think,
Yeah, when he
but I do like the fact that when you do look at these like kind of crew matchups, there is kind of like an opposite. So you have obviously Rob Lucci with Luffy in that. You've got obviously Sanji and basically Usopp's counterpart, Giraffe Boy. What's he called? Kaku, that's it. You've got those, like I said. You don't see anyone for Sanji though, because at this point he's not on the island, is he? He's not there. Dabra's not there.
Yeah,
Yes, he was on a different mission. And obviously there's the goodbye straight away from Robin. Says you'll never see us again, and the crew trying to find him and going across and trying to find him.
yeah, you're kind of wrong though, aren't you, Robin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You say goodbye, but we're going to find you and we're going to bring you back.
Goodbye. Oh, you'll never see me again. So that was a fucking lie.
Exactly. I mean, all I'm going to say is the best moment of this is, and we'll probably touch on it more next week. Every single member of this crew, Luffy's beat someone up to get him on the crew.
Yes.
Let's looking back at the list. We've got Captain Morgan with Zoro.
I will not reenact it.
Captain Morgan with Zoro. And we have got Don Krieg with Sanji.
Yeah.
We've got literally every single person. I mean, if we go back to the tier list as well, you can look back at the tier list. Every single person there that we've got in that list, there's someone that Luffy's beat up to make sure someone stays on the crew. And this is why Wapple takes over countries at the same time. Because Luffy beats people up and then they're left defenseless.
You know what? I'm gonna do a voice alert for that so you can put it into your stream, Sam. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can have a button on. I've got a button like here I can play sound effects off anyway. So as long as I've got it saved, I can just play it at any point.
Excellent.
So I'm going to regret saying that now because I'm going to get a load of different ones. But yes. Going on to this then, as like I said, Luffy says goodbye. At this point, Luffy and Zoro are both like stuck in chimneys as well. Chimneys. Two buildings. Zoro's stuck in a chimney. And we also find out about the big tidal wave disaster. Yeah, we know about the big disaster.
Question: what's the big wave called?
I am doing shit here.
Let's see if chat's got an answer. The big wave that hits Water 7.
Oh, dear me. Tsunami.
It's not tsunami.
Yeah.
Dust. Anybody?
No, I think we'll have to. We'll slightly move on and wait for an answer. I'm sure there will be.
Aqualanga. Ragnar. There we go.
1 point to chat.
1 point to chat.
Oh.
Put that up here. So we got the Aqua Laguna for chat there for silver. And
I've only got one more question to ask on this arc as well.
We have.
And it's during a conversation between Frankie and Usopp.
Okay.
About the Merry. When Usopp mentions to Frankie that he's seen something repairing the ship on Skypiea, and it repaired it back to how it originally looked.
The soul of the ship.
Yeah, and Frankie says what the name of that spirit is called.
Not a clue. Ghost spirit. Ghost child.
This is like Phasmophobia in One Piece.
Oh, gosh.
Guess the ghost, the spirit of the ship.
She's a banshee.
Oh god, what is it called? I'm not even going to pronounce to say that word. Klabama.
Can begin with a K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KLA. Clara Bounterman.
Yeah. Klabauterman.
I think Silver's got the answers up already. He's been like putting Yes.
I think Silver's going to have a forfeit for us by the end of this arc.
Yeah, I know.
I think I'm going to make a friend.
Silver is an awesome streamer as well, but worth checking out as well for you.
Well done.
But yeah, I was going to say, but yeah, we know the Aqua Lagoon is coming a long way, and it's pretty much imminent at this point that they know it's coming.
Yes.
Well, they're just stuck in this chimney and that, and it does get worse, progressively worse every year. They mention as well, which we'll come back to with Iceberg, because he's got a plan to potentially save it, because we know this is just a floating island that's made out of like basically just that's been created, isn't it? It's not like kind of a stable island. Yes, Silver, we know you're we know you're a One Piece fan, so I'm glad you're here, buddy. Absolutely brilliant. We're going to get loads of bad forfeits. I could see this happening.
Yeah.
I heard someone's going to volunteer to take most of them as well.
I mean, it's down to Silver.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
It's down to Silver who he chooses. That's not down to us.
Wapol takes over countries.
This is why Foxy takes over your crew.
Yeah, catch you later, Silver.
Silver, thank you very much for popping in. But yes.
He's making some points now.
Aye. He's going to get some questions for us to ask in a bit. Yeah. So, listen, it's getting worse every year. Please do that to Tass. Tass.
Oh, wait, what's that? What's the question?
I may ask for someone to cosplay Foxy, by the way.
Oh, I swear to God, I don't want to offend anymore.
Hey, Punk Pro, how are you doing there? No, it's brilliant. Absolutely fine, pal. Absolutely fine. I'm glad you got it. But yes,
I'm not going to ask any more questions now.
Just in case.
But I do like that plan though. Like I said, pretty good, especially if we can get them all like Comic Con. By the way, I've slightly noticed, by the way, that the camera for Anis is just slightly just changing and going.
I'm glad somebody's noticed that, because I've been freaking out thinking, is my camera slowly moving?
It is, because I can't see Goldie Roger anymore. I'm just like, I just slowly saw you move over.
It's because my premium setup is a tiny little webcam shoved into the hole of a shoebox, which is now resting on a table. But, pure professionalism here.
I was going to say we're a bunch of professionals. We've got the professional scoreboard, the professional shoebox monitor, webcam stand,
and we've got the professional Foxy cosplayer. Right. Soon to be. Yeah,
yes. There we go. So you can now perfectly see Goldie Roger sleeping again.
Excellent. We'll just have to keep an eye on that, because every so often we'll be like, we're losing an Anis.
I'll just be like, oh dear. So, yes, moving on. So we start learning a bit more about Frankie's past.
Yes, as well. We do find out about Tom, how about him creating the ship, his plea to basically get exonerated. Yeah, gets a way to get out of the basically punishment for basically creating the ship, in the sense.
Yeah.
And find out why Frankie has so much of a passion for ships building is because obviously he was Tom's apprentice, and Tom actually physically punched him. I remember that point when he said he regrets. Yeah, for the first time ever he raised his fist.
Because am I right in thinking that Frankie was just like an orphan or a stowaway or something taken on by Tom?
Yes, he was an orphan. He was making his own ships out of the scrapyard, and he was getting ships built that out of scraps basically, and that's why Tom was interested in him. And
do you know what he called the ships?
Oh, Frankie. It's Frankie model. It's the same thing he names him as all his models, because they're all numbered, all his inventions.
Battle Frankie.
Battle Frankie 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we get further into the time skip, and he's got more Battle Frankies.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what we have done. We skipped over a bit of Frankie's battle with Luffy as well. But
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he
Yeah.
fought him and
we did. And then that was quite a good fight, to be honest with you, because you see him just doing basically Kagano Fireball Jutsu.
And
And
the fact that he's a cyborg.
Yeah, that was
well, we don't find out he's a cyborg until he does a Fireball Jutsu, then jumps in the water, and everyone's like, "What the hell? He's just killed himself! He's a Devil Fruit user!" And then everyone's like, "Oh, he's immune as a Devil Fruit user." I could have just.
I instantly loved Frankie from that moment. Like that fight, I was like, "Oh, fucking love this guy."
You knew at that point he was going to be someone in the crew.
Even now, still, I just love his demeanor. I love his character. I love his voice actor as well.
And he's so different, isn't he, compared to like the rest of the crew? Like, I suppose you could say Chopper, in a little sense, is a bit different, but like Frankie just comes
an animal.
Yeah, Mario. I was going to say, I can't wait when we get to Mario, when we get to like Frankie's ultimate form and everything, when we go and talk about that. So that's something the chat's going to be looking forward to. Skipping over the battle, like I said, that was like a straight battle. I mean, I could imagine Luffy instantly jumping in the water after him and be like, "Wait, he was fine, I should be fine," and then all of a sudden that battle would have been lost. If
just to see Luffy go,
and just be gone. But yeah. And you know what I find, going back to, like I said, when they're stuck in the chimney, stuck between the two buildings, they didn't have the proper motivation to get out of that by themselves. At that point, they didn't have the strength or the will to fight properly. And they were like, "No, I'm not going to be able to get out of this." And as soon as they found out Robin's left the crew and is gone with them, that's when they went, "Oh, hell no, hold this building."
Yeah.
Right.
Nami said it again. It's the second time she said it. Like, when these guys know that somebody wants to be saved and they can save them, there is no limit to the strength.
It goes.
Said it to Vivi at Arabasta. She was like, "With these guys, the Shichibukai don't know what's going to hit them. Like, worry for the Shichibukai, not for the crew." And
it's that
to be right.
It's just that ambulance calling. It's that meme calling ambulance, but not for me. It's literally that. That's literally the impersonation. I mean, I think owner Zeph says it best, and I think it's even till now and latest chapters, and I've mentioned this guys off stream as well, is all the way through. You always have Luffy saying that, that once Luffy's got a plan, once Luffy's got a goal, it doesn't matter who you are. So if you're in his way, he's the worst type of enemy for you to be. And you find that in Whole Cake, we're finding that out in other arcs that we've seen up until now and on beyond this one. All the way through, Luffy will be the worst enemy if you put yourself up against him and you're not prepared for a fight. And there's a lot of people who do underestimate him, and I think that's quite a bit shocking. I mean, I thought you were just giving him a bro fist there.
I was trying, but he won't look, he's a dick.
But yes. What I find interesting in all of this as well is Sanji does some espionage with Sogeking.
Yes.
At this point. Because, like I said, at this point, Sanji goes, "Right, well, I can't take him all on my own, but I can figure out what's going on to it." I think what we should kind of do is end at the ship before Luffy's ship and that comes on. When we're talking about that, end at the ship fight, because that is a quite an interesting part to end it on. And we've still got another 15 minutes to go through for this.
Yeah.
So going through and talking about it though is, when we're going through it all, they break the buildings down. They're like, "Right, screw this, we're going through." Like I said, they're prepping, and while this is going on, we find out what's going on in their ship. Usopp can't face Robin as Usopp and makes his own identity of Sogeking, which I absolutely love.
He can't face the crew as Usopp. He wants to help.
Exactly. And if anyone knows,
trickery is afoot. I shall wear a mask.
Exactly. And he convinces Chopper at that point as well. And Luffy, I said, I still love the song for that. The Sogeking, the actual full sync song for it is brilliant. If anyone's not seen it, go watch the video. Go watch it. There's a brilliant one. Hey Rainbow, thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate it, pal. How are you doing? But yeah, it's it is
You're
amazing.
enjoying yourself there, Tass.
Oh, so much. I forgot about the song.
Right. Well, we're gonna have to say like go check that out and you go check that song out in your own time because I don't think we'll be able to play it because of DMCA and everything. But it is brilliant.
All right.
We can, as long as it's under 10 seconds. Because if you say more than 10 seconds, you can get DMCA.
Like 8 seconds of it. Then wait.
You could speak
No.
the lyrics.
But yeah, but yeah,
Reference?
I think what we'll probably do is post it on podcast piece later, and so people can check it out.
I'll post it on the Twitter as well.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
link the YouTube video.
And this is why Walpole can't take over countries because Sun
Yeah.
King's there.
That's why Waffle's rain falls.
Aye.
Yeah.
But yes,
Prick.
I think that one of the things that I want to point out is the fight when we see Sanji fighting on the ship, like on the actual boat, the train,
Yes.
On the train.
on the train boat. It's a water train basically. Water train.
None of those words mean ship though, son.
Yeah.
True. I'm an idiot though, so. But I love the fact when Sanji's fighting,
Water tails on the track.
like Sanji fighting on the ship. He does, like you said, a first fight, and then he fights someone who uses food as a weapon. I mean, could you not pick a more perfect opponent for Sanji than someone who uses food as a weapon?
Ramen Gaji.
Yeah. And I honestly think
Is
that
Silver still in chat?
I think this is where one of the morals that Sanji actually breaks of never using his hands for combat is given a loophole, because we know two morals that Sanji will always live by. Won't use his hands for combat, and he won't hit a woman or use any kind of like hit a female character. And this gets tested to the limit here.
Silver in chat still. Sorry, did I say?
Silver's lurking away for a bit. He said he's going to be right back.
I was gonna ask if you can remember what that Gaji's called.
Mm-hmm.
The Ramen Gaji. His name. At one point.
Onesie?
Yeah. Close enough.
I remember.
Yeah.
I'm taking a point there. We're all tied up on 2-2-2.
I'm taking a point.
Taking a point. I don't care. I've got the scoreboard right here, guys. 2 each. So yeah.
2-2-2.
Yes.
Well played, Sam.
Thank you. But the onesie fight is the fight where Sanji actually fights with his hands. Not only his hands, cooking knives. And
Yes.
Weapon, yeah.
you know what really surprised people is how well he uses them. Because obviously he used them in the kitchen, but to the extent that he uses them now, he basically does like proper samurai techniques. He does the full unsheathed sword line Shishizuki, like Zoro uses with his blade. He just runs past them and then just cuts everything in a million pieces. And
He's cutting food, so it's technically prep.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't denote he has sword skills though. What the hell, Loki? That's just mean. That's just mean, Loki.
A bell end.
What did he say?
Goku, you minge bag linger bell end.
This is why Wapple takes over countries, because of the insults here right now. This is why Foxy takes over this podcast.
Loki brings us nice things.
Yeah. But yeah, and you know what the I think here.
Loki, isn't he?
But what I love about this entire fight, though, is Sanji proves that he has sword skills, and
Yes.
it begs the difference of
He has
what's
cooking skills.
yeah, but he still can use a blade quite well and knows how to handle, like, kind of hold it and do a lot of techniques with it. So
I read.
love you too, Loki.
Excuse me. I read on. It was a random One Piece manga chapter that was out. It was. I think it was like. It was only a few weeks ago. It was after 1000 came, and I'd gone on to check. Excuse me, if the new issue was up, and it was like something like 1000.5. And
is it the Food Wars chapter?
The one where he's trying to cook the fish. He's trying to fillet dragonfish.
Yeah, because it's a special collab with the mangaku that does
I
Have you
haven't seen
ever read
this.
it, Sam?
I haven't, but I want to find this now.
Yeah, and so it turns out you're supposed to. The only way you can fillet it without it exploding on you is one long, thin slice to take the fillet off, and he can't do it with any of his tools.
Mm-hmm.
And Zorro leaves his sword next to the fish and goes to him, "Oh, no two-bit cook better use my sword to try to cut a fish."
I just I look.
Like, Sanji's like, "Oh yeah, this would work."
Which does beg the question: how strong is Sanji? But we'll have to try that another.
No.
We'll have to try that another episode.
I do think though it's interesting to find out Sanji has swords, like can use a sword if he does want to, in a effective way.
I'd love to see him try to sword fight Zorro though. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever happen unless
Yeah.
he uses some weird technique with his feet. But as I say, we'll
save that for another.
we'll-
I mean, to
We'll
be
set that
fair,
up.
I still think there's going to be another point that was Luffy. You're going to see Sanji use a sword, and I think it's going to be when he's against some kind of, like I said, fish, like I said, or a sea king or something that he has to cut specifically in order to
Yeah.
stop it from exploding or stop it from, like he's got to cut it quickly before and kill it instantly before it can
Like a
release
hydra.
glands. Like, what's that? Fillet fish. There's like a kind of there's the puffer fish, isn't it? It has like kind of a poisonous gland if you don't cut it carefully enough.
yes.
I think there'll be some kind of sea king or some kind of monster out there that you have to kind of cut it as soon as it kills perfectly, otherwise it's going to release its glands into its body and then just completely poison the entire thing. And I think Sanji's then going to have to take up a sword or something to do this, to kind of show that he can basically do it. And I think that'd be an interesting concept. However it happens is probably unlikely, but I'd love to see like just like a random kind of filler episode, or like not like a filler episode, but like kind of a side panel in a fight where he just picks up a weapon and does that, and just, you know what I mean, just out of nowhere.
Yeah, it would be cool.
And then like you just see Zoro's face like, oh, you can use a sword, like, just collect the crew's entire.
No, what'll happen? Zorro put his sword to it and start kicking everything.
Like,
well, if you're going to use sword techniques, I'm going to use my feet.
Yeah,
be like,
exactly what I can imagine happening.
aye.
Oh, that'd be
I'm
awesome.
gonna send Order an email.
Like, I can't remember how long. That's
It'd be an interesting concept. Like sort of thinking about that concept, it'd be like the Hydra sort of incident. Like they see, like as you say, like a sea king that's like some sort of delicacy, but if you don't slice it right, then it regrows and it grows like an additional head or something, gets stronger.
That's
So
what
then
I'm
it's
thinking.
like the whole, and then as it gets bigger and stronger, it ends up like the entire crew's fighting it. But Sanji's like, oh, give me one of those swords, I'll get this right, because he's obviously a chef, knows where to cut. And then it's just like, but then as you say, you have Zorro just sort of like, don't like this. Right, I'm gonna. I'll weaken it. You slash it.
I could just imagine like Zorro just being able to then just learn how to do his sky. What's it called? Where you can float in the sky.
Oh, the skywalk.
Skywalk. And he just goes up. He's just like running across the sky, and he goes, "Wait a second, no." Going for the sword, and then all of a sudden go no, and then just does a flying kick to the face.
Yeah,
just literally just dynamic entry straight into the face.
Oh mate, Jesus wept.
Dynamic entry and just hits all like three or four. Like,
you heard it here first.
Nice try, Loki. Nice try with the jump scare. Appreciate it though, pal, with the bits. I mean, using Zorro with kicks is not that scary. Let's not be too worried about that, shall we? I can, like I said, and then we're going on about Sanji though. Like I said, that's not the last battle on the ship. I remember he fights Blueno for a bit, doesn't he, and loses.
Yeah.
No, I think Frankie fights he fights a CP9 wannabe.
Yeah.
And he beats him on the ship because he lays down on his back.
Yes.
And he's like, oh no, you can't get me.
Because obviously his back's his only weakness and his front's all metal in that. What was the... I think though, like, Blueno really annoys me. Do you know when you were saying about, Foxy's fruit really annoys you because it can basically ruin people and that? Like, you can use it more effectively. Bluno can trap people in another dimension, like door space area.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's cool.
Like, it literally is like, oh, Sanji's just going to come across and kick me in the face. Door open in front of me. You just go into that dimension. I'll just save you there for later. Until we get somewhere. You know what I mean? And it just has so much potential. It doesn't get used as much, and I think that's a little bit of a shame. Especially, like you said, for something like Soul King, where he just opens a door behind his head. And, like, you know, he shoots himself in the back of the head. You know what I mean? Something like that. That would be interesting. But yeah, I think, like I said, this is where we're starting to get in towards Enies Lobby. And
Yes.
I think what we should do is pick it up
very
from... I think we should stop it here and then pick it up from there, from next week.
Yeah.
Because...
I think Enies Lobby's got far too much to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah, lots.
Yes.
Lots
And
and
I
lots and
cannot
lots.
wait for that, to be honest with you. In the meantime, we are going to go give someone a quick raid over. Let's have a little look here.
Yep. So thank you all very much for watching, as usual. Listening to us drabble on.
Yeah, and shameless plug.
Shameless plug,
And
let's...
shameless plugs. Oh yes.
Podcast Piece on Twitter, and also Podcast Piece is the channel on YouTube.
Yeah,
Plug.
absolutely. Come join us over there. This episode will be going live later this week on there, and we will completely, like I said, be up next week. And we'll on Twitter this week. We'll probably post, like I said, definitely Soul King's song on there.
Yeah,
We'll put some.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, we'll
I
put
opened
some.
YouTube, and I was thinking to myself, what am I looking on YouTube for?
Now you remember. We'll also post the rules of what this forfeit's going to be, and how it's going to work.
We also need our short finishing up. We need
Oh,
our
yes.
short-
Shit, I bet, yeah, you do. That's my bad.
I know.
We need our
God,
short video finishing up.
this is why Wapple takes over countries,
You know
Tass.
what, you know why I keep forgetting, right? Because like, I don't have fire.
Just ask Ace. Ooh, burn. Ooh, burn.
Too soon.
Too soon. But the burn was real, so let's get away with it. But anyway, thank you very much, everyone who's joined. Thank you very much who's come in. We're going to go raid Polo because he's on right now. I didn't see anyone who's playing One Piece at the games at the moment. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next chapter when we do this. Cheers.
guys. See you next
Cheers,
time.
guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for tuning in. Will he reach his next goal? Find out on the next stream of Goku 726.